Hello and welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show where heroes never die. I'm one of your hosts, Brad Knight, and sitting across from me is the Bastion player, Jacob Griffin. Jacob, how you doing today?
The Bastion player?
Yes, the Bastion player.
Who's Bastion? Like the game Bastion?
No, the turret character in Overwatch.
Play as him?
Thank you, because he's awful, and if you play as him, you should feel bad.
Who do I play as?
I have no idea.
Give me some time to think.
Alright, well, we'll let you mull that over. But how you been, Jacob? How you been?
Oh, I've been alright. I had a pretty alright weekend. The weather is absolutely crap out right now.
Oh, it's not good at all.
It rained last night. I had to wake up and close my windows.
Oh yeah, it rained like out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting rain.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody was.
It kind of sucked. Oh, hold on, I gotta move my sticky notes. I write down edit points in the show, so it makes it easier for me later. But anyway, well, now that the intro's out of the way, I guess we just go into what we're playing, right? Jacob, we're in well that playing. I'm losing my mind. It's all just blending together in one big, like, smoothie. Jacob, what have you been playing this week?
Absolutely nothing.
Jacob, you are nothing if not consistent.
Did I play anything? I'm trying to think if I have. If I did, it wasn't anything, like, insane. I played Tetris yesterday.
Oh.
The first time in a long time.
I mean, the pinnacle of gaming, really.
I found out that I'm the Tetris master.
Are you?
Yeah.
Have you seen those guys who can do it, like, blindfolded with the pieces, like, invisible and, like, it's moving at 75 miles an hour?
Yes, that's incredibly impressive, and I wish I could be like those people.
Those people aren't human, I'm convinced.
No, they're not. But
they're actually the world's first AI, in my opinion.
Last night I was doing so good, though, in Tetris. Like, there was, like, barely any blocks building up.
I got 4 years of practice in Tetris. That's all I did in high school biology, was play Tetris.
Yeah, I'll take you down. Let's go. Right now. Street fight in Tetris.
Yes, Tetris off in the middle of Complete with DLC.
Yeah.
So nothing fun, nothing entertaining this week?
I went to the movies. That was about it.
What'd you see?
The Nice Guys.
I heard that was really good, actually.
It is. It's actually a very funny, very good detective story, which movies about detectives are some of my favorite things in life. So
you like detectives?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I like detectives. I like movies about detectives.
Like, what kind? Like the old L.A. noir, like, 50s guy in a trench coat, he's got the gruff voice?
Yeah.
Or more the modern, like PI stuff?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
All right. Yeah. Basically, if you make a TV show, too, that's about that, like I don't know why. I know it's trash, but I love CSI. And I'll watch, like, any episode of CSI that's on.
I don't blame you. I mean, I used to watch NCIS. I thought that was awesome. I mean, it's complete just TV nonsense, but, I mean, it's fun.
Absolutely. Like, it's kind of bad, in all honesty.
Oh, yeah.
And the mysteries are just nonsensical, but I enjoy it. I have a good time with it.
Like so many other things, it's like fast food. You know it's bad, but you get it anyway.
Honestly. And I've talked myself out of getting fast food so many times, but I can't talk myself out of watching CSI.
It's good for the soul, really. It's just good for the soul.
It is.
But, well, luckily, I have played a lot of things this week, so I can keep the conversation going.
I'm gonna guess you played Dark Souls, you played Bloodborne.
No and no.
Oh.
I haven't touched them yet. Because I've been busy. I've been a busy man. I've been playing, well, recently Overwatch, because that just came out yesterday at 7 or 6 p.m. or some weird time.
Such a weird launch time.
Well, they wanted it to launch simultaneously through the whole world, so they set it up so the time zones worked out where everybody got it at the same time.
Right.
And as a result, the servers obviously exploded, and, well, whatever. But once I did finally get it, I played it almost nonstop. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I figured that from the beta, but I'm curious to see if there's anything that they changed.
From what I understand, what they've done is they've taken out competitive mode right now. We're going to talk about that a little bit later because it's in the news doc. So competitive mode is not in it right now, but it wasn't in the beta either because they didn't want to put a competitive mode in an open beta. And other than that, everything's just about the same. I didn't notice any big map changes. I didn't notice any big hero changes. It feels like it's just a beta again. That's just how polished the beta was. I don't really think they changed anything.
In all honesty, I feel like their beta was just like hey, not a lot of people are talking about how cool our game looks, like our hardcore community is, and this guy Brad on Complete with DLC is, but nobody else is talking about this game. Let's get this out there for everyone to play.
Well, they were unusually, at least to me, it felt unusually stingy with their beta this time around. And so much so that the game got the nickname Only Watch, because nobody could get in the closed beta. So that's unlike Blizzard. Usually that, even their closed betas, like with Hearthstone and Heroes, everybody got into those. So, I don't know. It's, I'm curious as to know why they were so stingy this time around, but I'm having a blast either way. And of course, I bought it, I think an hour or so before the game launched. Not even. Oh, Josh wants to talk. Josh, what do you have to say?
Some guy just walked by the window. I could hear the growling in this ear, and I looked that way, and then I heard him come this way, and I looked that way.
But, I bought it like an hour before the game launched. Or not even an hour, it was like maybe 25, 30 minutes. And I still got the pre-order bonuses, which I loved.
Well, yeah, because you still technically pre-ordered it.
Yeah, and all it was a skin. I got the Widowmaker Nova, which looks awesome. She's really cool. She's one of my favorite characters, I think, so far, is Widowmaker.
Who do you main as, though? Who's your main character?
Right now, I've been playing a lot of Hanzo. A lot of Junkrat, and a lot of Soldier 76. But I'm not big on Soldier right now. He's kind of too easy, in my opinion.
I play a lot of, who's the girl with the, jetpack?
Girl with the jet. You mean Diva? The girl with the big mech?
No, not Diva. She has a jetpack, she has a rocket launcher.
Oh, Pharah.
Pharah. I play a lot of Pharah. And I play some Tracer. And
Tracer I found very hard to play on console. You played on console, correct?
Yeah, I got used to it after a while. I think maybe it's just because maybe you're more of a PC guy. I don't know.
Maybe. But some of those guys were really hard on console.
Yeah. And I didn't like Diva. Mainly because I thought her mech was so slow. That's my one problem, I think, with that game. Is that some characters move super fast and others move super slow, but there's just no sprint button.
Yeah, it's very, polarized as to how characters move. Like, guys like Hanzo and... who's another good one?
Genji and Tracer move really fast, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, yeah, Tracer, Genji, Diva with her dash. A lot of guys have, very low cooldown dash techniques, so you can sort of use it as mobility. But guys like Hanzo, he doesn't have one. Soldier 76 has dedicated sprint. He's the only guy who has it.
Yeah. Because I think that Soldier 76 is supposed to be the one who's, for the, usual FPS player.
Yeah, he's very, very... Even his ultimate makes it so it's literally aim hacking. It locks on your gun to whoever you can see and shoots. So it makes it very, very easy. It's kind of the reason I don't really like him all that much right now, but...
Oh, and I also like the pig guy with the hook.
Oh, Roadhog?
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother loves him.
The one I like?
Yep. See?
That's another one.
I'm starting to think you two are talking to each other and I just don't know about it.
It's like we're the same person, but we just don't know it.
Yeah. You two can never meet because I'm afraid what's going to happen in the universe if you two ever actually, high five and everything
just explodes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's been sucking up a lot of my time since, 6 p.m. last night, so. But other than that, I've been playing Doom.
You got Doom?
I got Doom. I didn't tell you because I wanted that reaction specifically. And Jacob?
Wait, what did you get it on?
PS4.
You gotta bring that over to my house. We gotta play that. That's gonna be a channel game.
It might actually be one of my favorite single-player campaign of all time.
Did you play through the single-player campaign, or did you only play, a little bit of it?
I'm a few chapters in. I'm playing it on hard. Because I made the stupid mistake of going, it's a modern FPS game. Hard is never going to be really that hard. No.
It's just like old Doom, baby.
Hard is hard as hell. And there's 2 difficulties above that. Ultra Nightmare, if you die once, it sets you back to level 1. That's ridiculous. I don't know how anybody would do that. But I'm having so much fun with it. It is ridiculous. It's up there with Modern Warfare's campaign, with Halo 1's campaign, with... all the campaigns that I've loved, this is like fighting for a seat because this is really, really freaking fun.
In all honesty, I'm really mad at you right now because I want Doom, but I'm also excited to hear how good it is.
Now, I haven't tried the multiplayer, but my brother did, and he said it's not as bad as everybody was saying. It's just eh. Like, it's nothing to write home about, but it's not that bad.
I think the problem is that everybody wanted Quake multiplayer, and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
Like, they very much made it like a modern FPS.
Yeah, it's kind of... I've watched some of it. It looks weird. I played it in the beta, and that was okay. So I can't imagine it's much worse now, but... what I will say, though, is that any game, if you're a developer and for some reason you're listening to this, if you want to do execution kills, this is the way to do them because they are freaking perfect.
Are they just really gory? Please tell me they're like the most gory thing
Oh,
ever.
this game is incredibly gory. Like, it's ridiculous. It's actually, like... I don't think I've ever seen anything more gory than this, but the way the glory kills work is that there's like a blue aura on them when they're damaged enough, and when that aura turns orange, you can perform a glory kill. And they're very quick, but they're very satisfying. And take like Rise Son of Rome, for example. Those took forever, and they got very repetitive. These take like a second, and there's like a dozen of them for every mob.
That's awesome.
Depending on where you attack them, what position, whether you're above them, below them, wherever you are, there's a different one. And, like, I'm actually going out of my way to do them now because they're so much fun.
I saw one last night because I watched, like, the opening, 5 minutes of the game. And he just, he punches one in the face, rips his arm off, and then beats his head in with it.
Yep, I do that one all the time.
That just sounds like magic to me.
It's awesome. And, what I do like so far is that, there's tons of secrets, by the way. Like, there are, a dozen secrets every level, and I've yet to find them all in a single level. Like, I always leave the level with 2 or 3 missing and I can't find them. But what I like that is if you explore enough, you can find weapons early.
Really?
Yeah, because some of the weapons are hidden pretty well in secrets. And if you explore enough, you can find them 2 or 3 levels before you would have them. Like, I got the plasma rifle and the super shotgun early, and I texted my brother. I'm like, oh, this plasma thing's awesome. He goes, oh, so you already caught up to me in, chapter 5 or 6 or whatever? I'm like, no, I just started. I'm, chapter 2. So, I guess I wasn't supposed to get it that early, but I found it hidden behind, I think it was in an air vent or something, or behind an elevator. I forget where it was.
Huh.
And they have you, for, literal collectibles, they have these little, figures you can go around and collect. They look like little Funko Pop figures, basically.
Right.
But of different kinds of Doom guys. One of them's, looks like the Fallout 4 vault suit. It's actually kind of cool.
Can you unlock different costumes for your character? That sort of thing? Can you unlock a vault suit or something like that?
I don't know, actually. I don't know if it goes that far. I do know you can upgrade your suit and whatnot. There's a lot of upgrades.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can upgrade your weapons, upgrade the suit, and it's all very easy. It doesn't feel like annoying to have to upgrade, because a lot of time that's sort of what it is where you're like, oh, I can't get any farther because my gun's not good enough, so I have to upgrade it and then I can move forward. But upgrading just it never feels necessary, but it always feels awesome.
Right.
And I've maxed out the so for suit upgrades there are 3 main ones, or I think there's 4. How you interact with power-ups, how you interact with the environment in terms of damage-wise, explosives and whatever.
Right.
There's a collector's one where it does all sorts of funny things if you're next to a collectible or a secret. And there's one where I want to say, what was the last one? I don't know, forget what the 4th one was. Oh, I think it has to do with utility, you run faster, you switch weapons faster. I think that's the last tree. But I've maxed out the collector's one. So my controller shakes up next to a collectible. It shows me on the map immediately where almost all of the exploratory things are, and I can search everywhere because I am just obsessed with doing these collectibles. It's so much fun. I can't stop gushing over this game.
I'm mad at you. I'm literally very furious at you on the inside right now. Because I want this game, but I don't want to necessarily get into a game when No Man's Sky is so close.
It is really close. It's a month away. I realize I haven't even talked about the actual gameplay of the game yet. So the how do I describe it? There have been points where I have been sprinting past dozens of demons, not because they're so weak, but because I am literally too terrified of the giant demon that's chasing me. So there are points in the game where, like, you have to sort of, like, prioritize who you're gonna kill.
Right.
So you're running away from the little grunts because you're trying to get in a better position to kill the berserker that's chasing you and is about to rip you in half. And there's a lot of cool... It's sad that I've actually seen a lot of these, but there's a lot of really cool death animations for your character, yeah. I fell in lava once, and he does the Terminator thing, where he does the thumbs up as he's sinking.
Does he really?
He does.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
I got hit by a cargo truck thing, and I exploded. And then, like a 2-second delay happened, and then my head plopped in front of the camera and rolled and looked at me. There's a lot of those. But it's just, if you're looking for a good single-player campaign, I cannot recommend this game enough. This game is, it's so good, I want to play it right now. I want to stop the show, Jacob. I'm going to play it.
Alright, well, so, you can get in touch with... No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Alright, well, we are, like, almost 20 minutes in the recording, so we might actually want to get into the actual news of the show, because it's sort of what we talk about here.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's not that important, but, you know. Alright. Where is it? There it is. I like how I opened the soundboard so I could have the clips at a moment's notice, and I still don't have them at a moment's notice. Alright, so we are in the news, and the first story I want to talk about is sort of a groundbreaking story. That's what I would like to call it, is groundbreaking. And it's that E3 is hosting its first ever public event, which is being called E3 Live. And, it's not like what E3 is, and there's no conferences, there's none of that, hubbubaloo, but it's going to be a free 3-day expo of its own held June 14th to June 16th. And it's not going to be at the Los Angeles Convention Center like the standard E3. Instead, it's going to be at LA Live in downtown LA. The event's going to kick off at 5 p.m. Pacific on June 14th with gameplay demos, live music, dance contests, special appearances, and more. So it's more of a hangout than an actual conference.
Yeah, it's sort of like a, hey, come look at these games that were announced at actual E3, and here's some music.
Yeah. And it's cool that it's free, so you can just sort of show up, you know, if you only want to stay there for a few hours, you don't feel bad. Because, you know, that always sort of sucks. Those people who buy tickets to, like, E3 or any sort of convention, they show up and realize that they don't really enjoy it, but they would feel bad leaving because they bought the tickets.
You know, I found out that the 3-day pass for E3, if you are, like, a news person or even, I think, an exhibitor, maybe, I don't know, is $995.
My God.
That's what I saw.
That's expensive. That's really expensive. I mean, it would explain where they keep getting the funds to do this every year.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because it's a trade show. It's not like a show. It's not like a convention that's supposed to be open to the public, like a PAX or a.
Yeah, it's an industry show, it's not a GDC.
Yeah, so the industry obviously would have, like, if you're like an important news sort of thing, you'd have a budget set aside for E3.
Yeah. But the special happenings, as Polygon so very well put it, is going to happen throughout the week, with doors opening again at 12 p.m. On June 15th and closing at 10 p.m. on June 16th. Registration for the free ticket is required for entry, though, and ticket grant holders access during a 5-hour time slot. So, if you want to do this, you got to kind of get on it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but this also isn't the only free event running during E3. EA is doing its EA Play thing from the 12th to the 14th, so if that's more your style, go check that out.
I'm interested about that EA Play thing because it's happening in different cities simultaneously, too, so I'm curious if there's one that's close by here.
Maybe in Boston, Boston or Providence is really where all the...
Yeah, if I had to guess.
Alright, so up next on the docket, a game we haven't heard about in a very long time, actually, is Yooka-Laylee. The Banjo-Kazooie spiritual successor being made by Platonic Games. And we've got new details, and we have a look at the game's, quote, final form. So a handful of new screenshots accompany the first hints at Yooka-Laylee's story. The game will take place, quote, inside the work halls of a baneful business as the buddy duo. I can't speak today. Really, it's just awful.
It's like every day, though.
I know. It's... It's terrible. As the buddy duo seek out the magical pages required to explore the mysterious Grand Tomes. So they're kind of keeping with the name scheme of Jiggies and Jinjos and all the other...
This sounds like nonsense.
It is nonsense is what it is. I mean, you're playing as a dinosaur and a bat looking for book pages.
So are you looking at the screenshot on the story of Yooka-Laylee here?
Yes.
Have you noticed that their logo is basically the Rare logo, but instead of an R, it's like a Bunsen burner?
Yes. Same color scheme, and I guarantee you that was not an accident.
No, I don't think it was.
Yeah, so the titular chameleon and bat will have to stop the appropriately named Capital B from stealing and transforming all of the books in the world into cash. Because we all know bookstores make so much money.
Along the way, as you know, books are for nerds, and cash is for anybody.
Exactly. Along the way are collectibles to grab and puzzles to clear. In keeping with the game's biggest influence, Banjo-Kazooie, Playtonic Games said there will also be hundreds of items to discover, which will allow the player to buy new moves. They'll also meet a variety of other characters, all of whom Playtonic will detail in the coming weeks, so keep up to date with that. There's a fox, I think. It's a weird-looking fox guy with no pants, or has pants. I forget what the fox was.
Is it Swiper?
It might have been Swiper. I could be thinking of Swiper.
Yeah, maybe it's a big, cross promotion with Dora. Is Dora still on?
Yes.
Yes.
I have no idea, but I'm going to assume yes because it was wildly successful in the 90s.
That's true.
Yeah. Actually, I think in the mid 2000s there was a spin-off with like her brother or cousin.
No, cousin. Go Diego Go.
Oh,
Diego showed up a couple times on the show, and then he got his own show.
Yeah,
that has something to do with Dora, though.
Well, it's the spiritual successor to Dora, really.
It's like the Banjo-Kazooie of Dora the Explorer.
Yes, it's exactly what it is. So if you're a Kickstarter backer to Yooka-Laylee, a special standalone edition of the game is going to be available to you this July. The Toy Box demo is a sandbox version of Yooka-Laylee, which the studio describes as spoiler-free. Players will be able to test out characters' moves and find a few hidden items. So if you're kind of thinking about the game, going, I don't know if I want it. Banjo was cool in the 90s and early 2000s, but do I want it now? Then, you can try out this sandbox mode and see if it's for you.
That doesn't matter for anyone who's not a Kickstarter backer.
Yes. Actually, the way this is worded is weird. I'm assuming the Toy Box demo is that special standalone build, but they're not entirely clear if that's actually the case. I'll have to do a little more looking into that. Maybe I'll report on that next week. But
yeah, the way that it's grouped together like that.
Yeah, you assume.
Yeah. But then again, you know what happens when you assume.
Yes, but we already look like asses, so what's the point?
Exactly.
But more information about the game is going to come out at E3, so Jacob and I will have our ears peeled for that. Is that a saying? Ears peeled?
We'll have our ears to the ground like the Native Americans when they listened for the buffalo.
Yes.
That wasn't racist, that's like a real thing.
Like how we're racist so often on the show, we have to actually make that a disclaimer. We're not even intentionally racist. We're accidentally racist.
Yeah, no, most of the time it's accidental. Sometimes the jokes are just in poor taste.
I mean, if nothing, we are nothing if not in poor taste. Speaking of in poor taste, a Japanese report code names Nintendo's next handheld, called the MH. They like the two-letter thing now, I think. I don't know why.
They're going with letters of the alphabet. Who knows?
I guess. I mean, there's only so many combinations you can do. A report on Yahoo's, I forgot about them, a Japanese language site, finance site, mentions Nintendo's plan for a new handheld device, and even gives it a code name. But it's not clear if this is a 3DS successor or a piece of hardware attached to the NX, because remember, they had talked about it being a console with a little detachable thing that you could take on the road if you wanted to. So it's not clear if this MH is that little thing.
I feel like I just feel like that's not going to be a good experience. Not like, it won't be like how the Wii U tablet is, where it just displays the game from the system. That'll be like a separate like handheld version of it, and I feel like that would just be terrible because it won't be like the actual game. It'll be like when you play the Vita version of MLB The Show.
I mean, that's exactly what it's going to be. It's actually going to be exactly like the Vita, right? This is basically Nintendo's Vita, because you can take the Vita and play it and play it and play it, or you can do the cross-play and play the PS4 with your Vita. And this is kind of the same thing.
Well, yeah, there's that, and then there's also there's certain games that are on both that you can take your save back and forth on.
Yeah.
Which I assume that this would be more akin to, like, there would be, say, their MLB game on there, and then there would be their MH version of the MLB game. You could take your save from that to that.
Yeah. So in October, the Wall Street Journal reported that the NX will include the One Mobile thing that we talked about, and unfortunately, we don't know much about either that thing or this MH. So that's really all we know. What we do know is that that controller coming with the NX is going to be a elliptical touchscreen embedded in a traditional twin-handled controller chassis. That was a mouthful.
No, we don't know that, do we? I think that was just a
patent. That was that's the patent. So that's the basis for what that controller is going to look like. But someone then took that and made this whole big hoax about what the controller looked like and what it would do and all this other stuff. So all we know is the patent and what its design is going to be like. We don't know any final designs or anything like that.
Just make a regular controller.
Jacob, we're not breaking the first commandment on this show.
We will break it if I really have to. If I get this peeved about this.
But like in usual Nintendo style, they didn't comment, and they're probably not going to. But Polygon has reached out to them to see what's happening. But we have no idea what's happening, and we never do because Nintendo doesn't talk to anybody. So MH, what do you think, Jacob? Is it this? Is it the NX console? Is it its own thing? Is it the 3DS successor?
I think it's its own thing, honestly.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, it might very well attach to it, but I don't think that that's its sole purpose, is to just attach to this. I think it'll be its own system, and then it'll
have the crossplay functionality.
Yeah, it'll be similar to the Vita. Like, the Vita doesn't need the PS4.
Yeah.
So,
I watched a very interesting video as to why the Vita failed by extra credits. It's very informative.
I don't get why the Vita... Can I just say something? I don't know why the Vita failed. Mainly because, number one, it's a very good handheld. It's probably the best handheld ever made.
That's why they said it failed. It was too good.
You're right. It is too good.
No, I'm not even joking. That's what they said. That the games on it were so graphically comparable to the console games at the time that they were so expensive to make, the developers wouldn't touch it. It was much cheaper to make games for the 3DS and the DS than it was to the Vita, so it made more sense for developers to migrate to the DS. So that caused the Vita to have a shortage of games on it, which caused less people to buy it, which caused less developers to want to make it because nobody was buying it, it's a whole cycle that killed the Vita.
See, but I also don't get why at first it didn't do well, because it's number one, coming out of every conference, every person was like, this is like the greatest handheld ever, it's going to be the biggest thing in the world. And then it had an amazing launch lineup, and then just did nothing. Maybe people aren't looking for handhelds anymore. Or maybe everyone who had a handheld is already fine with just having a DS.
Yeah, I was going to say, Nintendo seems to have the hold on handhelds, so people still want them, they just only want Nintendos, I guess. But speaking of only wanting one thing, that's not a good segue at all.
No, it's not.
Rocket League updated and is delivering the cross-platform play to the Xbox One and PC like they promised, and it's out today. It's out now. May 24th, guys. I'm dating this recording.
Right
Go
this
play
second. Go out.
Stop listening to this. Go play it. No,
Don't stop listening to this.
So cross-platform play comes to the Xbox One today in the latest title update to Rocket League. Gamers in the RC car meets soccer game will be able to play matches against PC users starting this evening. The update comes to users at 6 p.m. ET, which is in approximately 4 hours and 15 minutes.
Boom, so you don't have to stop listening to this. You can still wait.
Yes. So go buy Rocket League, and while it's downloading, you can listen to this and then play your cross-platform play. But the cross-platform play does not mean PS4, guys. Not yet. Not yet. Calm down. In March, Xbox announced it was opening Xbox One cross-platform play with other consoles included. Quote, was other consoles. However, implementing or including this feature is entirely up to the game developers. So Xbox is saying, you know what, guys, you want to do cross-platform with PS4 and whatever else you want to do, go for it. We're behind you. Do what you want to do. But it's up to the developers to say, you know what, actually we're going to implement this into our game. So whether this goes to PS4 or not is up to the PlayStation 4 team.
Right.
And that's really all. That was a short story. But
it's kind of nothing to say about it. Like, it's exciting, and I'm very excited about it. But, like, there's not a lot to say.
No, I'm excited for what it means. It means we're moving closer to a world where platform matters less, and we can just enjoy the games that we want to enjoy.
Exactly.
Which is really just all we want in life, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you guys know how big of a Blizzard fanboy I am. You know that I could not go a week without putting a Blizzard story in the news docket. So, here we have Overwatch. So, Overwatch's first big update is already planned, and the game just launched yesterday. And this, as I talked about with Jacob earlier in the show, it's going to bring back competitive play mode. So, in developer Q&A on Facebook, we see director Jeff Kaplan, and he explained that they're currently reworking the mode that recently went back into development after a bunch of people complained about it in the closed beta, saying it was not a very good system, and it wasn't. It was not good at all. I didn't play it personally, but I looked up a lot of it, and just the way they had it set up was just not good for competitive in any way. So he says, Kaplan says that I don't want to make, this is a quote by the way, I don't want to promise an exact date. My rough commitment, or not commitment, would be sometime toward the end of June, middle to end of June. So in typical Blizzard fashion, they're not committing to anything.
Coming soon.
Yeah, soon TM. So, when it does come back, the tier-based mode will feature some changes based on player feedback. These include revising the length of the seasons, making them last longer than 1 month as they did originally. Kaplan said players can expect seasons to run for 2.5 months, followed by several weeks off. Blizzard is also shaking up sudden death, changing how frequently it appears. More information will come closer to the update's release, says Kaplan. Kaplan also fielded questions about a possible sequel with single-player campaign, more likely for Overwatch, even more than single-player is something more cooperative, he said. So don't get hoped up for a single-player campaign. But if you want something single-playery, then go take a look at the whatchamacallits, the animated shorts.
They're making more of those too.
Yes,
they're coming out with comics.
And they all look awesome, and I love them, and I want more of them.
I mean, you could say that about anything Blizzard has animated, pretty much.
Blizzard has just has doing animated shorts just down. I don't know.
Why not let them make a Warcraft movie?
Because it would take them, 2 decades. Those 5-minute clips take them, 1.5 years to make.
I'd probably enjoy it more, though, because mainly given the fact that it'd be all animated and it wouldn't be mostly animated like how the new one is.
Yeah, you know what? If you told me tomorrow that in 2036 we're getting a fully animated Warcraft movie because it's going to take Blizzard that long to do it, then I'm fine with that. I'll watch it when I'm almost 40. It's fine.
I have a question about
Yes.
the Warcraft movie. Do you think it's too late for that to come out and do anything?
No. I think, a lot of people are thinking that this is a way for Blizzard to get traffic back into Warcraft. And it is, in a sense, but not necessarily, because I really don't think that's the goal that Blizzard's trying to achieve here.
I mean, I think it might be, though, because when I went to the movies this weekend, they give you, a little receipt full of stuff, and at the bottom it said, if you buy I think it's, pre-buy, or even if you just buy a ticket to Warcraft, you get World of Warcraft for free.
Yeah. I mean, they're giving away World of Warcraft for free at this point anyway. Especially the base game and the early expansions are dirt cheap. Where they get you is the new expansions because those are still $40.
Yeah.
But with the new expansion, actually, I think that's kind of why it's timed the way it is because the new expansion's coming out very soon and the movie's coming out very soon. So, I would normally say that I don't know. It seems like a long shot to me for this to be a marketing scheme, right? Because movies are expensive to make. Right. And this seems like it would be a very large investment for something that might not draw that much traffic.
That's what I'm saying. I think that it's way too late for this movie to come out and actually, do anything. Financially, at least, right?
Yeah.
I think it'll be maybe an okay movie. It's got a $160 million budget.
It's not small.
That's not small, but it's smaller than most.
Yeah. I don't know. I just hope if you're going to watch the Warcraft movie, do not go into it with A+ expectations. This is Blizzard's first attempt at a movie, okay? Look at Rooster Teeth. Look at their first movie.
I mean, they didn't. They had an actual director involved. Actually, the guy who directed it is David Bowie's son.
Really?
Yeah, Duncan Jones. He doesn't go by the name of Bowie in his professional name, but
a lot of people do that.
Yeah, he's David Bowie's son.
Cool.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about? Oh, news.
Oh. Yeah.
So The Division, Jacob. You played that game, right?
I don't play it that much anymore. But
Well, maybe you will now, because the final details emerged for the Division's big update. They've been teasing the big update for a while because people are not happy.
update 1.2 conflict.
Yes, so the official Ubisoft website has finally revealed the details for Update 1.2 for Tom Clancy's The Division, which is scheduled to launch today, actually, May 24th. It includes full stat listings on 4 new gear sets, details on new Dark Zone gear stashes, new named weapons, and more. The centerpiece of the update is a new raid called Clear Sky. Players must be level 30 to attempt it and have, quote, high-level gear, but no minimum or recommended gear score was listed. So, they're just saying be prepared, but it doesn't look like they're putting a lock on it, sort of like Destiny does.
Right.
So the updates for new gear set include the following perks. I'm not going to read all of them because they're very long. I'll give you a link to them in the description. But they are Final Measure, Hunter's Faith, Lone Star, and Predator's Mark. And they sound really cool. If nothing else, they know how to name things. This post also includes news on an addition of player stashes at every Dark Zone checkpoint. Now, instead of returning to base of operations to retrieve the extracted gear, players will be able to journey to the very edge of the Dark Zone and equip their decontaminated loot straight away. It's a quality of life improvement that will make running laps in the player versus player arena more efficient. For new weapons, the update includes the Centurion M1911 pistol, the Saiga, the Saiga shotgun called Medved, that's a weird name.
Yeah.
And the new M1A marksman rifle called Historian. And, Jacob, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
I'm reading a lot of terminology here, but I'm not a player of the Division. I imagine a lot of our listeners are not players of the Division. What does all this mean? What is the base of operations, these Dark Zone stashes?
So the base of operation is essentially your big base that you have. It's in the post office that's right in New York City. That's right across the street from Madison Square Garden. Basically, you can upgrade your base, and it adds different stuff, like in the medical wing, the tech wing, I think security wing is one of them. And then the Dark Zone stash would be, I think, the area where you walk into the Dark Zone. So basically, you walk up to this door, you go into this like middle room sort of thing, and then you can go through a door and go to the actual Dark Zone. There's like a vendor there. So I assume that maybe what will happen is once you extract your gear from the Dark Zone that you can get, because the gear in the Dark Zone is contaminated, so you can't use it unless it's extracted and decontaminated. What I assume is that you'll just be able to go back to that Dark Zone vendor and then get it from her.
Alright, so that does seem like a pretty big quality of life change then. It's a much shorter trip to get
Yeah,
your gear.
definitely, because you used to have to go to the edge of the Dark Zone and get out, and then go all the way back to your base of operations to get all your stuff, so... Now with this, it's just going to be hey, you're at the edge of the Dark Zone, get your stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I still don't think it's enough to get me in the game, though.
They added all this gear score stuff, which is like light level in
Destiny,
which I wasn't huge about when they added it, but I mean, I guess it's all right. The problem is that it's just one more hoop to jump through to get into the game, which bothers me.
I mean, a lot of these MMO-style games are doing... WoW had to do it, and they all do it for the same thing. They all do it so they can categorize their players and make it so you can only get into certain content if you're high enough to do it. Which sucks for those of you who, maybe aren't high enough to do it, but it makes it a lot easier on sort of segmenting the game as to what is end-game content, and what is mid-game, and what is early game.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a necessary evil, unfortunately. And there is just a huge list of balancing and tweaking and all this other stuff that's coming with 1.2. So I'll give you guys a full link to that if you are a Destiny player. Same game, really. The Division player, if you're interested in that. Uh-oh, Jacob's Skype video went all...
Oh, no.
Nope, you're fixed. Never mind.
Okay.
Fixed it. I don't know what I did, but I fixed it. But
Brad,
that's
I have some breaking news, Brad.
Oh, and this was going to be a short show, too. Okay, Jacob, what is it?
No, it's not like a thing. The games with gold for June have been announced.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I didn't want to put that in there, because we have a show on the 31st, right before June comes out.
Oh, really? Then never mind. Forget it. Done. You're not getting it. You can go look it up yourself.
Well, okay. Well, that is the end of the news, I guess, which means we're moving into the next segment of the show called The Quick Time Question. Alright, welcome to the quick time question.
I just realized why you picked a Doom for this.
Yes, I told you I like to try to make it so it's related to the show in some way. I'm not always successful, but you know, what are you gonna do? Welcome to the quick time question. The way this segment of the show works is I ask Jacob a form of video game trivia. This could be in the form of a question, a quiz, a game, or just simply a multiple choice question made. I like to change it up week to week. I don't do the same thing. I like to keep Jacob on his toes, and quite frankly, I'd get bored doing the same thing every week, so I gotta keep it interesting for me too, right? So, Jacob, this week, as you had said, I had made this week about Doom. I always tell Jacob what the subject's gonna be about before I do it, because I don't want to do a game that he literally has no idea about, because that would make it very, very boring, because he would have no idea how to answer the question. But this week, it's gonna be a true or false question about Doom.
Okay.
And it's gonna be the original Doom. And your question is, true or false, when development for the game that would become Doom started, it was originally planned to be based on the movie Aliens. True or false? Now, Jacob, you are a big fan of the movie Aliens, are you not? It's actually on the list, the very long list of movies that you want me to watch.
I do love the movie Aliens.
Yes. But did you love it so much that you think they would base a video game on it, specifically the game that would become Doom?
See, the thing I'm confused about is do you know the year when Doom came out?
1987? No, it's earlier than that.
1987.
No, not the new one. I want the original Doom release date. Damn it. Original Doom release date. Original Doom release date came out in... Damn it, that's the Doom... 1993. Okay, it's later than I thought.
Okay, so... But games could have taken longer to make back then. I was going to say, given how late it was after Aliens, because I want to say Aliens came out like 87? I want to say.
But it was very popular when it came out, so...
It was.
So it's not unthinkable that it could. But then again, like you said, it was pretty late, so a lot of the cash money from Aliens would have been spent from then. No more hype following it.
Yeah, but then they did make Alien vs. Predator. I'm gonna say false.
Is that your final answer? You're locking that in?
I heard you sigh, so no, I'm not gonna lock it in. I'm gonna say true.
I didn't sigh. I was putting my water bottle down.
Oh, then never mind. I'm gonna lock that in.
Okay.
I guess I heard you do that thing that you do after you drink. You go.
Yes.
Because I thought you were going. Is that your final answer?
No. So Jacob's locking in false. Unfortunately, you probably should have locked in true because it is true.
I had a chance to go back.
Yes, I got that directly from the Doom Wiki.
Really?
Yes, they have a really long trivia section of the Doom Wiki. Actually,
Interesting.
it's very, very long.
I didn't know that. That's interesting. I would have liked to have seen what that version would be like. Imagine if we didn't have Doom today, though.
Yeah, but it was very, very early on in development when it was considered to be based off Aliens. It was changed rather quickly.
It could have made a good Colonial Marines.
Could have been, but what could have been?
That makes a lot of sense. Why the Doom guy on the cover of the original looks like he has the same armor, sort of, as Aliens.
It's very likely. But Jacob, you didn't win this week.
I'm aggravated about it because I could have gone back and saved it, but then I didn't.
You could have. I didn't want to arbitrarily change your answer, so I had to kind of panic and cover like, no, I didn't sigh. It wasn't me.
Yeah. You like me to look the fool.
Yes, I try my best to make you look the fool.
And you know what's sad is I try to make you look like a fool, but somehow I can't do it.
It's I've been looking like a fool my whole life, Jacob. It's practice makes perfect. Skype video went all funky again. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Show's almost over, guys. It's fine.
Because it's time for the spiel.
It is time for the spiel, so I'm gonna spiel it up. If you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at completewithdoc@gmail.com. You can send all your questions, your comments, concerns, or just any advice you might have for the show, or just really anything you'd like. Just send it our way at the Gmail account, and we will answer it for you. If you would like to talk to one of us specifically through the email, then please put our name in either the subject line or the body of the email, and I will make sure that the correct person answers you. Because we all know that you guys want to email Jacob about, I don't know, whatever you want to email Jacob about.
My Little Pony.
Yes, it's exactly what you want to talk to Jacob about.
I was also close. Aliens came out in 86.
Yeah, you were pretty close. I didn't know Doom was 93. I thought it was earlier than that.
I did too.
But what was I saying? Oh, right, show info. If you don't want to email the show and you just want to keep up to date in all the show's happenings, then Twitter is going to be where you're going to want to go. That's where Jacob puts all the information about new episodes going up, whether one of us is doing a video series and when episodes of that go up. All the information is on Twitter, and Jacob stays on top of that usually. It's Jacob's duty. Oh, excuse me.
Shouldn't put me in charge of anything.
But if you do not want to follow the Twitter, then your next option is going to be just listening to new episodes of the show as they appear on your RSS feed on either Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, or SoundCloud. The RSS feed is hosted off SoundCloud, so you want it fresh from the source, that's where you're going to want to be. And if you're using a podcast playing service, then please use whatever form of feedback software they give you, whether it be thumbs, stars, arrows, or smiley faces. It doesn't matter. Just use it. Send some comments our way. Let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. I imagine the wrong is much more than the right, but still, it would help us greatly if you guys would point us in the right direction, and we do take all the feedback we get and incorporate it into how we do the show.
Have you ever seen the Doom movie?
No, I have not seen the Doom movie.
There's this great part, like, towards the end of it, where he, like, takes the drug and turns into, like, a superhero, and then it goes all first person for a little bit.
Oh, God. This is the original Hardcore Henry.
Yeah, it's much worse than Hardcore Henry because they put it on a Steadicam and didn't just actually attach it to a man's head, but... Because it doesn't feel real.
Well.
And
but
the Rock's in it.
Well, that's always a good thing. I want the Rock and everything.
Right.
But that's all the show info. But Jacob, if they want to get in touch with you specifically and not the show, where can they talk to you?
Me? You can talk to me on any sort of social media at It's J Griff. I think it's at the bottom of the screen. I don't know if my finger's in the right position, but whatever.
Other side.
It's down here.
Yes.
But the one I'm most active on, which you can also see down here, is Twitter. I'm on there a lot. I tweet about things, my observations in life. I tweet about music sometimes. I did this weekend, so.
He's a variety tweeter.
Yeah. Very variety. We have a new follower on Twitch, by the way.
Fantastic. I'm very happy. Thank you for following us on Twitch. You're now on a show.
You're now going to heaven.
Jesus God.
That's our phrase for when anybody gives us any good...
No, it's not. No, it's not. Can you pass the spiel back to me, please?
Oh, yeah. Brad, if they want to get in touch with you, where can they do that?
If you want to get in touch with me, then you can do that at Calgny on Twitter. Kalgne, right down there. Nope, this side, right there.
You messed up, too.
I know. It's fine. But if you don't trust my ability to use a social media site, or you just don't use social medias, then Battle.net is your next option. I am Brad1261 on the Battle.net. You gotta put the little hashtag between the Brad and the 12, because Blizzard is weird. Battle.net is Blizzard's little interactive hub with an instant messenger thingy. So if you wanna, chat, then, you can chat and play some Blizzard games while you do it. Maybe you can play Overwatch with me, because I'd appreciate some company as I'm playing Overwatch, because that's all I'm gonna be playing for the next long time. But if you do send me... Yeah, seriously. But if you do send me a friend request on the Battle.net, then let me know where you heard my friend code, whether it be a podcast episode, or one of the YouTube videos, or wherever you heard it, just let me know, so I can sort of keep track of where this is coming from, and I can make a note accordingly. So when, in 3 months' time, I forget who you were, I can just check the note and go, oh, it's a podcast listener, and I won't delete you. Yes.
By the way, just want to say real quick.
Yes.
Questions from Brad is coming.
Oh, God. Yeah, eventually. Sometime, maybe.
Yeah.
But I believe that's it, Jacob. Is that it? I think it's it.
I think so.
Okay. Is it? I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Are we?
Yeah, I don't know. If it was important, I would remember, right?
Yeah, that's everything.
No, it's not. No. Oh, there was something I forgot. I knew it. See, this is why I think. I am going to be doing a few live streams of games on the Complete with DLC channel, completewithdlc.twitch.tv/complete with DLC.
Where you are now.
Where we are right now. I was going to do an Overwatch launch stream yesterday. I did it. It ran for about 10 minutes, and then everything blew up. I was kind of annoyed. Spent a lot of time prepping that, but I think I fixed it. I should have fixed it because we're streaming right now, and it seems to be going fine. But yeah, that is actually it now.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, see, this is why I think. I don't do it often, but when I do, it usually works.
Now, do you want me to do the?
Yeah, do the sign off. It sounds weird when it's my name first.
This has been Complete with DLC. I'm Jacob Griffin.
I'm Brad Knight.
And thank you for listening.
Okay.